wrist, twisting like it's stir fry. Whip it in the kitchen, wrist, twisting like it's stir fry. Whip it in the kitchen, wrist, twisting like it's stir fry. Whip it in the kitchen, wrist, twisting like it's stir fry.
Welcome back to the Beat 139. I'm Doc.
Hi guys, I'm Pretty Lou.
And I'm Don Vito. I'm in the building. We got my man Will Roberson in the building from Harlem. Right. Yeah, Will, give us some background on yourself, bro. Let's get right into this, man. Let's talk about it. Give us some background on yourself.
All right. Well, we can talk about a lot of different things. You know, I've been an entrepreneur for a long time. I'm born and raised in Harlem. Like, where you want me to start, though?
I want you to start with the music producer. You know, the people that you produce, your career, you know, stuff like that. You know, you can even go back even before that when you first turned into entrepreneur. The story you told me about
let's
the bike
start from
business
the beginning.
and all that. We can go there.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. Let's go there.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, and bring it all the way up.
Let's start from the nitty gritty to what brought you to the music.
That's right. What brought you all the way to who you are now?
What made you think you could even produce? Like, you know what I mean? Start from the beginning.
Yeah, you know the story me and you talked about, bro.
Good question. Good question.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I started as an entrepreneur.
Okay.
Right.
All right. My parents broke up when I was 14, and my mother kicked me out when I was like 14 and a half.
Okay.
So I learned how to take care of myself on the streets, you know, but I got disciplined because at that time my family was part of the Nation of Islam. So I went to the school on 116th Street, the mosque over there on 116th.
Right.
I learned calculus, I learned different languages. Yeah, I learned a lot of discipline, and one of the things that I learned going to that school was how to dress and stay clean and keep your appearance up.
Right.
You know, so that was kind of instilled in me, you know, as a young man.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was out on my own, I had a level of discipline that I got because, you know, I went through that experience.
Right.
May I say that's a blessing because at 14, being put out on the street at 14, teenagers tend to go the different route. So for you to have been able to find that shelter and to be able to find someone to actually nurture you and help you with your maturity and keep you level grounded was truly a blessing.
Well, I was also lucky enough to go to a place called Boys Harbor, which was an after-school center in East Harlem.
Right.
That's where I honed all of my skills as an artist, as a dancer.
Right.
When you ask me how did I think that I could do music,
Right.
that was my first experience with music, was going to Boys Harbor. You know, I had a music teacher named Ramon. Forgot Ramon's last name,
Right.
but he was very influential, you know. Also, through that experience, I met a brother named Abiodun Oyewole, who was a counselor there. He turns out to be one of the members of the Last Poets. So I've known him since I was like 13, 14 years old.
Right.
So, so from those experiences, having that kind of discipline, I was able to navigate at 14 up until now and not really get into no real serious trouble.
Right.
You know, I never did any bids or nothing like that, you know, and I was able to have the maturity to say no to drugs when it was offered to me. You know, I drank my first like glass of wine when I was like almost 30 years old.
Just like me, I had my first glass of Henny. My first Henny was at 30.
Wow.
High five, high five, high five.
Oh, high five? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I drink now.
We all do.
Yeah.
He's over there cracking up.
Now.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, once
So-
you go, you can't go back.
so I grew up at a time in New York where crack was at its height, you know, and so I decided to go the other route, which was my art, my painting, because I learned a lot of artwork. I had a lot of art teachers at Boys Harbor as well, and one of the founder of Boys Harbor, his name was Anthony Duke, and he was a friend of a very big artist named Willem de Kooning, who had a studio out in the Hamptons.
Right.
He showed de Kooning my work one day. He loved my work, so he invited me out to the Hamptons, and you know, I painted with de Kooning, and you know, I really got a lot of inspiration because like he's like a massive artist. His work goes for like 150 million a painting now.
Right. Wow.
Stuff like that.
Wow.
You know,
Amazing.
so when I hit the streets, I was selling my artwork. You know, I would go outside and I would like paint furniture, I would paint clothes, And one day I painted some suede shoes, and it caught the eye of a guy named Gene Griffin. Gene Griffin was managing Teddy Riley,
Right.
Rex and Effect,
Yeah.
and cats like that
Yeah.
at the time, right? I walked into his office one day and I had these shoes on that I painted, and he was like, "Yo, who did that?"
Right.
I said, "Me."
Yeah.
So he said, "Yeah." I said, "Yeah." So he said, "All right." Went in his pocket, pulled out a knot, and like tore off like $600-700. He said, "Look, I want you to do the Rex and Effect jackets and bring them to the Palladium."
Right.
He gave me like 2 days. He said like I need it back in 2 days. I said, well, I'm gonna need 1,400. I'm not going. 7 ain't gonna do.
Right.
So he looked at me like, who is this one? You know?
Right.
Businessman.
Can I curse?
Yes, you can. Yeah, you're free.
Like, who this one? You know. Anyway.
Yeah.
So took the 7. I did 3 jackets for him. Dropped it off at the Palladium. You know, they love the jackets. They put them on, went on stage and performed. And, you know, so this was like late 80s, I guess.
See, I need to cut you off for a second. See, people don't realize how big them jackets was. See, I'm from that era.
Yeah.
When them jackets,
Yeah, them
them
jackets was
jean
crazy.
jackets, you
Yeah.
talk about the jean jackets.
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
It was so crazy. Like, I wish I could like show you guys or paint the picture. But y'all could have like maybe the younger generation a little
Was
snippet
there a name
of,
for them or no? Was it just the fad
It
at
was
that
the
moment?
fad,
At
like,
the
yeah,
moment,
just the
that's
style
what
was
was,
on the back.
that was
Was
what
on the
was
back.
levers with
going
the
right.
rhinestones. They start putting the
Yeah.
rhinestones with
That's
the
what was
leather. It got
hot.
so big.
Yeah.
It got
Yeah.
so big, right?
Yeah, yeah.
People start putting them on jeans with the jean jacket, with the leather, with the rhine. It was crazy. It was
Yeah,
crazy.
So you know.
You started
so-
a fad.
No, I didn't start it.
Okay.
I didn't start that.
You just jumped in.
It
made
was
happen.
it was going on.
Yeah.
Gene liked my art. He was like, "Yo, take your art and put it on some clothing from one of my artists." I said,
Yeah.
"Fine."
Oh, super dope.
You know, and I had a good experience with him actually. You know, a lot of people say, "Oh, he was a gangster," and you know, he robbed this one and that one. But Gene always did what he said he was gonna do.
Right.
Right.
You know, it's like no one forced you to sign the contracts and the paperwork that you signed. You signed it, and if it said you're gonna get $1 million, he made sure you got $1 million.
Right.
Now, if he got $10 million, that you know, but that's how the business.
Yeah,
is.
that's how it is.
You
You
live
can't
and
count nobody else
You
money.
Right.
live and you live and you learn.
Right.
You know, at
Right.
at the end of the day, you know, this is a business where you live and you learn because no one's gonna give it all to you. You got to learn and go through it yourself.
How to get it
Exactly.
yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
How to get it. Okay, so
All right,
now.
let's talk a little bit more about your music career, as far as like the artists that you produce and
Okay.
and you made music for. And
So
stuff.
you went from the
Yeah.
clothing. You made these jackets for.
Well, yeah, I was doing jackets. I was painting everything. I was doing actual paintings. I was painting on everything, furniture, and just
Nice.
taking it outside and selling it because at that time, New York was the center of the art world.
Right,
You
it was
had-
artsy.
You had Basquiat was alive, Warhol was alive, Keith Haring was alive,
Yeah.
and the energy in New York for art was like
Very high.
it was
Yeah.
very high. You
Yeah.
know, you walk down the street in Soho and it was packed with artists out there. They nothing
Yeah.
like that now.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, that was the New York that I grew up in as a teenager. So, so you want to go to the music now?
Yeah.
All right. Well, how I got my first record, Malachi from the group home was my stepbrother. Okay,
The group home, the rap group.
the rap group.
Okay.
The group
I
home.
remember them. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
They're
deep.
from Brooklyn, right?
The Bronx.
The Bronx.
Dap is from Brooklyn.
That from Brooklyn.
Yeah, Little Dap was from
Little Dap,
Brooklyn.
Yeah.
But the way that situation came about was my father was married to his mother, and Malachi was driving Primo's. I forgot what kind of car it was, but he wrecked his whip, right? And so Malachi was so upset that he wrecked his whip. He pulled out his 9mm and shot himself through the leg.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a crazy story.
What?
Yeah, he was so disappointed that he wrecked his car. He shot himself through the leg,
Wow.
right? So after that incident happened, his mother asked if he could come live with me. I was living on Riverside Drive in like 149th at the time. She was like, "Look, you'll get good influence. You know, can he come live with you for the summer?" So I said, "Yeah, he can come live with me, no problem." So he came to live with me. He went out to a club one night and met a French journalist. He gave him my house number, you know, because he was living with me at the time. The French journalist called my house about 5 times. He was never there. So I said, look, on the 6th time, I said, look, I'll set up the interview, but you got to talk to me too. So he said, cool. All right, so I set the interview up. He came, he interviewed me, he interviewed Malachi, because at that time, Group Home was like, They was massive in Europe. Like
Wow.
they was big here, but overseas they was like
It was
that album was
another
like,
level.
you know, on a whole nother level. So interviewed both of us. Me as an entrepreneur, you know, him as a rapper and stuff. I had done some music and television before I had ever done a record though, but I'll get into that later. So he interviewed us. About 2 weeks later, from Paris, he calls me. He says there's a group called KDD. They're doing their second album. They would like for you to come and produce their second album, finish it. They started it. They want you to come and mix it and finish it.
Right.
And he offered me $12,000. So I said no. I doubled it to $25,000. I never thought he was gonna call me back.
Right.
And I hung up. He called me back like 2 weeks later, and he was like, "Yeah." So I'm like, "Yeah." He said. So I said, "Okay, cool." So they sent me my dough. You know, I went over there. I took Avon Marshall with me. He was my programmer, keyboard player, programmer. Avon is dope. He worked with Diddy and a lot of people.
Yeah, I know Avon.
You know Avon?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I took Avon to Paris with me. So went over there, produced this group called KDD on Columbia. It was their second album. Their first album flopped, so they wanted to make sure that their second album was a hit. I don't know why they asked me, because I had never done a record before. So,
Wow.
I just went with it. You know,
What?
God
So
always
you jumped
has
out there, asked for 20
What?
25,000, and you ain't never did a record.
Wait,
No.
you ain't do a record?
No.
You just said you gonna give me this much to do it,
Businessman.
and we're gonna make it happen.
Pretty sick.
That's
Have faith
Young
in yourself.
entrepreneur.
That's that Harlem though. That's Harlem.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know?
Have that pure faith in yourself.
Yeah, always. You gotta have faith in yourself.
Yeah.
You know, so I get over there, you know, we do the record. I end up making like another 40,000 in that month while I was there producing other people. And then I looked around Paris and was like, you know, this place is beautiful. I think I could live here. So after the success of that record, I moved to Paris.
Right.
Nice.
And so while I was there, I worked with a lot of American artists and flew them over to Paris to work with a lot of the big French artists. Like I worked with Mark Middleton from Blackstreet. He got kicked out of Blackstreet after like the No Diggity hit and all that. The one with the high voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mark. I took him over there. We did some records together with Universal, Christopher Williams.
Yeah, keep throwing out all the artists
But
to us.
what record was Christopher Williams you did?
Well, no, it was for over there.
Oh, for over there,
Okay.
okay.
It's called Tell Me How Much. It was
Okay.
him featuring another French nigga named China.
Mm.
And so what it was a compilation on Universal. I
Right.
took the big French artists and I
A
paired them
nice
with American
American
artists.
artist.
Okay.
And we did a
Wow.
collaboration where it's half French and it's half English.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
So I did that in '98, and no, like '99. I think I did that, and then I worked with a new age artist named Jean-Michel Jarre. I never heard of him before, but he liked the work that I was doing over there, and he turns out to be like the biggest new age artist in the world. And so I did a record with him. It was crazy because he wanted to work with me. I'm like, why do you want to work with me? I don't know nothing about new age music.
Right.
I never even heard of you.
Right.
You know. But he was like, yo, I like what you're doing. I like the vibe and the energy. So I said, okay. So we did the record, and he performed it in front of 600,000 people, and it was on TV. It was broadcast on TV too.
Yeah.
People
The
loved
stuff
it.
that we did. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So that was my experience in Europe. And I was telling Red earlier, while I was over in Europe, I noticed when I would go to record shops, I would see sections of Last Poet albums. And I knew the Last Poets because back in the day, Adil Doon was one of my counselors at Boys Harbor. So I'm like, wow, I never saw this in America. So then I started to realize why, you know, and I did the history and everything, and they were banned in America after their first album because it was too political,
Wow.
you know. But at the same time, that album that they did was so successful that it went on to sell millions of albums around the world, right? And I felt like people in America should know who the Last Poets were. So I came back to America and started investing in doing production for them. I did a few albums. I did an album with Erykah Badu, Common, Kanye West is on there, John Legend is on there. And if you remember a song called The Corner, that song featured Kanye West, The Last Poets, and Common. All right, right before that record, I did a record with Common, Dead Prez, and The Last Poets called Pampers, and it sounds exactly damn near just like The Corner.
Yeah.
So basically, Kanye took my concept and took it to the next level.
Right.
They got nominated for a Grammy.
Wow.
For everything. So basically, my idea to, you know, come back and reinvest in the Last Poets so that people would know who they were, kind of reached its peak when
Yeah.
Kanye did, you know, The Corner
Right.
with the Last Poets.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and then from there,
Came to fruition, but
Yeah.
on a higher level.
Yeah, I invested
Yeah.
a lot of money, man. I was buying full page ads and double XL for Omar Ben Hassan when I did a record for him. I did a solo album on Omar. But you know, Jalal just passed away from the Last Poets. Hustlers Convention. We were just talking about that record. That's one of the most influential records, you know, for the pioneering hip hop artists like Dr. Dre and a lot of producers. They refer back to that record. They've sampled that record, you know, and so, you know, I feel like we need to recognize our pioneers.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
hip hop is the only genre that we seem to disrespect.
Yeah, I say that. Yeah.
You know, the older cats and the
Yeah.
cats
Yeah.
who laid the foundation. We have no respect for them.
Yeah, that's not cool. I don't like that.
Yeah, so you know, I don't think that's right at all because you know, if you don't know where you've been, you don't know where you're
Exactly.
going.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and now here we are again, like 20 years after the death of Tupac and Biggie, and rappers are getting killed again. Like this young cat, Triple X,
Yeah.
Extension,
Mm-hmm.
and the 6ix9ine, he's beefing.
Yeah.
And all that. It's like, don't these guys know what this how this ends up? We saw this
We
before.
saw it
Right,
already.
right.
Yeah.
Unsolved
Why do you want it to
mysteries.
be you? Right.
Unsolved mysteries.
Right.
Yeah.
And the reason why it's happening is our fault though, because they need guidance. They need the older cats to step in and be like, yo, this is not the
That's
way
a
to
fact.
do that. You know what I'm saying?
That's a
We can't just criticize them if we never really
Try to
sat
talk to
down
them.
and really tried to talk.
Not trying to
Yeah.
give them any guidance.
Yeah.
They need guidance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
So-
in sports, now what they do in sports, they sit them down, let them know the history.
Mm-hmm.
Like the rookies when they come in, they it's like a program, a week program in NBA. What they do, first part of it, like how they, as far as manage their money, of the history. The history is important because when you know the history, that's in anything. The history, if you have your job, anything, it makes it easy for you. I think.
No question. I mean, that's the basis of
Foundation.
the foundation.
Yeah, it's
you
the
know,
foundation.
you know. So, yeah.
Go ahead.
Because see, like you were saying, well, you gotta know the origin of like rap, R&B, stuff like that. Like you just think about like a lot of R&B singers, a lot of songs that we vibing to today came out a long time ago, right? A lot of the new songs that came out, we really don't want to hear like that. You know what I'm saying? Because the quality has changed. The quality has changed. You know why the quality has changed? Because they don't know the history, man.
True.
You understand? They don't know the history like that. And it's for us to talk to you. Like, Shorty, let me talk to you for a minute. Instead of like, Shorty don't know what he's doing. How you gonna know what he's doing if we don't try to spread the word? Because
But
when we
see-
grew up, they spread the word with us. But with
Right.
the rap game, it's different because it seems like everybody is going against each other.
Nah, but see,
You
the thing
understand?
is-
And instead of evolving the way it should,
Hip-hop
it's
became-
turned into more territorial now.
But it
But when it
became
came
like
with the older
Like wrestling.
Yeah.
rappers back in the days, when you talking about DOS effects and brand new wins, it was like mad love, man. When I went to Yo MTV Raps and saw everybody on the stage, man, nobody sat there. If you sat down, you wasn't gonna see the show. You had to stand up. Everybody was standing up because they missed that good music, man.
Yeah.
It's like, man,
Yeah.
remember this. If you ain't stand up, you was in trouble. But and that's why I'm just trying to get on that, just because it's important, man, to go back and get that lesson like Doc was talking
Yeah.
about, like the NBA. You got to get that lesson.
Well, you gotta do your homework, man.
Right.
You know, that's part of your education.
Yeah.
You know, like people go to music school, but music school can't teach you what you know. You can teach yourself by just going and digging and finding out who did what came before this, what came before that, because nothing's really original. Like everything is an offshoot
Came
of
from something. Yeah.
something else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know.
Like
So-
with these young guys now, they go like, in the music business. It's more stats. Like for instance, like an old school rapper, say someone like Big Daddy Kane. If he say something to one of these young guys, they don't know him. It's gonna go on one after the other. But if somebody, one of their peers, speak to them, just say Nas or Rick Ross, or somebody speak to them, they understand it more.
I
But in the NBA, Bill Russell is he speaks to all the young guys, and they listen to him, and it is more respected. Like they comfort level is good in the NBA, opposed to the music business. Like they look at it's no big thing. They don't when they see like I've been around like rappers and even like the older guys like I said the Big Daddy Kanes and that era, and when the new guys they don't. It's not no big like.
It
Right.
will,
It's
but
not no,
Right.
I want to talk a little bit so because I don't want to run out of time while
Gotcha.
you're here.
Gotcha.
I want to get into everything. Let's talk about your clothing line, man. Let's get
Okay.
into that, man.
Yeah.
Alright.
So now you this producer, you overseas, you come back to the United States. You're this producer before. How do you get from that to making clothes? So you go literally from a painter to a music producer to now being a designer,
It's
a
all-
clothing designer.
It's all production, though. You know, to be a producer.
How did you get to start making these clothes?
Well, I've always enjoyed fashion.
Okay.
You know, coming from Harlem, we're known
Harlem
to be
again.
fashionable cats.
Harlem.
You know, I mean,
Harlem.
you know,
Manhattan make it.
we
Money
stylish.
make it Manhattan.
We stylish. We fashionable. That's just who we are.
Right.
So. Let me show you.
Yeah, you got a
let me
couple
show you- let me
pieces?
show
Yeah, you have a
let me
couple
show you something.
pieces
Let's see
so
what you
that
got,
you
man.
can
Let's
show.
talk about it.
Yeah,
let's get
show
into
the
this, man.
audience a couple of
Will
your.
Roberson
That's
collection.
our producer,
pieces.
Cleve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will Roberson collection.
All right. Let me show this one first. This one is a winter coat.
Yeah, this is nice.
Right. Oh, this is a winter coat. Oh, yeah. And I do this with my wife, by the way, who's sitting right there. You know,
Yeah,
this
it's
is
a cutie
project-
over there.
the
Let her know
project
she
that,
in the building.
that we work together.
Mhm.
All right. This is Arctic Fox here.
Okay.
All of the fur is removable. The hood's removable. Let me show you.
Oh, nice.
You can take all of this stuff off, so you can wear this
With or without.
multi-seasonal.
This is really nice.
Yeah, that's nice.
And the inside has fur too, guys. Look at
The
that.
inside has fur.
Look mad warm too.
It's heavy. It's a heavy coat.
Yeah, it looks warm.
The inside has fur too.
Okay.
It's like really nice.
And I chose to do Army because Army never goes out of style.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Every year you got Army. Let me show you the denim.
And you can wear Army with anything.
Yeah. It goes with absolutely
Like,
any
you can
color.
Dress down, dress up, all kind of.
Oh, nice
It's so
denim
nice.
jacket.
Denim
Looks like
joint.
something that you might
And
rock. Look.
what's your brand name?
Oh, Will Roberson Designs.
Will Roberson? Okay.
Yeah. This is a
This is
main
really
collar. This
nice.
main collar comes off. It's removable.
Is this your brand's logo right
yeah,
here?
this is the logo.
Okay, because I saw it on that one as well.
Yeah. The logo was a dog named Lucky, and I started painting this dog first, right? Just as paintings.
Right.
And I've sold this dog around the world. In Switzerland,
Mhm.
me and her lived in Switzerland for like a year and a half.
Nice.
Right.
She got her master's in finance in
Mhm.
Switzerland.
Also, you got the best partner. Best partner in business and in life.
And
okay.
fashion. Yeah, she
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
wonderful.
So while in Switzerland, I came across a client. She bought a painting from me. I've sold paintings in Paris, Switzerland, here,
Very nice.
and so this logo was very attractive to people. So
yeah.
I was
It's
like,
cute. That's why it caught my eye. I saw it on that one,
Yeah.
and I was like, wait.
so I was like, let me take this logo and let this be the canvas now.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to do fashion
I like
surrounding, the
The
logo.
logo itself.
Yeah.
And let people know where they can find your stuff at, man.
Well, right now I got private clients.
Mm-hmm. But
I
like
wa-
social media, they can look at it and check it out. Something
They're
like that?
able to. How are they able to contact you?
Yeah.
Via Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah, Instagram is Will_Roberson ROBERSON_designs on
Okay.
Instagram.
Okay.
Just hit me up on Instagram.
Somebody said fire coats.
Thank you.
I'll send you his info, eh?
We did a nice piece for Fab Five Freddy.
Right.
Who's a good supporter and a friend.
Nice.
Another supporter was Amy Homeworth. She bought our first coat, and she bought it for $1,600, which
Right.
Wow.
it's not a low price, but it's also for this type of coat very
Yeah.
reasonable.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah, because of the fur that it has.
Yeah,
it
yeah,
has a
yeah.
lot of fur.
yeah,
on
so You know, so we're gonna continue to do, you know, the fashion. Right now it's hot right now, so we're not
Right.
really doing too much. But we're in production for fall and
Nice.
for winter.
Nice.
So
So let's talk about that artist that you got coming out, man, that you're working with, man.
okay.
You know, you got a new song out, all that stuff, right?
Wait.
Yeah. You want to play the song or something like
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Yeah.
Let's listen to the music,
Yeah, let's hear the music, man.
and then we'll come back.
Let's
and
get into that.
I'll let you know what's going on.
Absolutely. Okay. What's the artist's name, bro?
Well, I'm the artist.
Right, but okay,
I'm on my
okay.
DJ Khaled right now.
I got you.
Basically.
Right.
Now he's an artist, guys.
No,
I can't just. He's just a man with many
Many
talents.
moves,
okay.
many moves.
Well, let's not get it twisted though. Because
He's using them, not abuse them. That's what we.
No,
all
no, I'm
need
not
to do.
using them. We're sharing a platform together.
That's right. That's right.
And so what it is, there is a new singer that I'm introducing to the world.
Yeah.
Her name is Trinity, but she's 17, and her parents want her to go to college, so she's going to the Berkeley School of Music.
Right.
Okay.
So in order for me to put this record out, I needed someone to promote because I couldn't promote her fully. So
Right.
I'm like, I stepped up and said, I'm the artist now because I produced the record.
Right.
I did it with a partner of mine named Curtis Richardson, who wrote like
A lot of
multi-platinum
songs.
Right,
I
right,
remember
right.
that name as soon as you said it.
All right.
Yeah. He's a huge songwriter, so we
Right.
wrote it together, and then I added Cash Flow Harlem,
Okay.
onto the record,
Nice.
and him and his father are good friends of mine. They're behind Cardi B and Hennessy, her sister now.
Right.
Okay.
So it's a Harlem thing.
There you go, bro.
Harlem.
Let me hear that. Let me hear that track, bro.
Yeah, the song is called Fascination.
Okay.
Fascination. Nice.
Check it out.
Let me hear that song. Turn it up a little bit.
Yeah, it's gonna come up on its own.
Okay.
Kind of faded it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna dive in the attraction, chain reaction. It's fascination. Feels like fireworks when I look you in the eyes, like the 4th of July. Fascination. Ooh, you lift me high like a buzz. Now I'm going on and on. Give me a clue. Do you feel the way that I'm feeling? Sexual healing, breaking the rules, giving into your passion. Are you ready to dive in? It's fascination. Feels like fireworks when I look you in the eyes, like the 4th of July. It's fascination. Ooh, you lift me high like a buzz. Now I'm on and on.
I'm so fascinated, I can't exaggerate it. You know I'm nothing like the dude in the past you dated. See, your love was a drug, left cash, you dated. And you schooled me to your love till I graduated. Came up like, oh man, young boy had to get with the program. See, I ain't know nothing about the romance. From living the fast life to the slow jams. Oh man, I be the dude that you need in your life. You had a man wasn't treating you right. You had a man wasn't treating you right. Yeah, he had you on lock, I'm the key that you like. Oh yeah, unlock the door, I do it big. I'm the guy you should call. If anything you need, never exaggerate it. One thing about me, I be fascinated. Well, roll, we got one.
Feels like
Cash for
fireworks
Harlem.
when I look you in the eye, like the 4th of July.
Let's work.
Fascination.
Worldwide with the vibe.
Ooh, you lift me high
And
like
why?
a buzz. Now I'm gonna float on and on. It's fascination. Floating on. Feels like fireworks when
Come
I
on.
look you in the eyes.
I see you, baby.
4th of July. Fascination. Ooh,
vibe
you
over here.
lift me high like a
Work.
buzz. Now I'm floating
Yeah.
on and on.
Come on.
Ooh, I don't wanna waste no time. Gotta lay it on the line. What I gotta lose it. Ooh, I just wanna make you mine. See, I need it in my life. There's no other I would choose. It's fascination. Feel like fireworks when I look you in
I know, it's like that feel good music. Like, yeah. It's like back to that feel good music. Yeah, got you in a zone.
It's a quality song right there.
That's a nice cruising song.
Good
Yeah,
job,
no
bro.
doubt.
Good job.
Right?
Thank you. Appreciate
good job.
that.
Yeah, good song.
Wonderful, yes. Applause.
Trying to restore the feeling.
That's
Absolutely.
right. No,
You gotta
you
bring
did
it
that.
back, man.
Yeah,
gotta
yeah,
bring
you
it
did
back.
that.
That's nice.
You see, with me being an international producer, I know what works here and what works overseas too.
Right.
So
That's
always
both
keep that
worlds.
in mind.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
This will definitely be a hit overseas.
Yeah.
Oh, no
like-
question.
It's a
No question.
definite.
What's the artist name again?
Will Roby, me
Absolutely.
as the artist, but
There it is there.
the singer, her name is Trinity,
Okay.
and it's also featuring Cash Flow Harlem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
But the song is called Fascination.
Fascination.
Song for the summer.
You need to drop that.
Yeah, it's definitely
We're gonna
a
drop
cool
it. We're gonna
song.
drop it probably on the 14th, I believe.
You got a
Okay.
video
Of
for
July?
14th of July.
Okay.
Wow.
You got a
perfect.
video for Will?
Not yet. Not
Okay,
yet.
okay.
Not yet. We're gonna
Yeah.
definitely do the visual and all of that. You
Right.
know,
Nice.
I'm gonna build it up. You know, piece by piece, bit by
Mhm.
bit. You know,
Okay.
because with a record like that, I don't
You
have
gotta
to
do
rush
it right. Yeah.
You gotta do it
gotta
right, but I
do
also
it
I don't need to rush nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. You know what you're doing.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You've been
And
in the
you
game
were
a long time.
Yeah.
you were telling me a minute ago that you were gonna explain the difference between being a producer and producing beats.
Yeah, exactly. Well, a beat maker and a producer is two different things.
Right.
You know, I'm from the school of production where, for me, I'm the producer of the overall
Right.
thing.
Right.
You know,
So
so
you have to make sure it sounds
there's
right.
there's a difference between making some music and then being in there producing vocals, arranging
Right.
vocals,
Right.
working with musicians.
Right.
You know, I mean, that's why that music feels that way. I got
Mhm.
musicians playing on there. It's not just me doing everything.
Mhm.
You know, I brought in Curtis Richardson to come in and do some vocal arrangements as well.
Mhm.
You know, it's about a
Nice.
collaborative effort in order to get, you know, the sound that we really grew up on.
Your quality
Right.
sound,
You know,
yeah.
everybody wasn't doing, one guy wasn't doing everything
Right.
and a lot of the stuff that we love.
Right.
You
They
know,
had help. Yeah.
no question, no question. So, you know, there's a difference between being a beat maker and a record producer, you know.
Nice.
And I think the reason why a lot of the music, you can't really feel it nowadays, not all of it, but a lot of it is because you got one person doing everything,
Yeah.
you know.
Mhm.
So,
That's true.
yeah.
That's true. I love that.
So that's what's next for you there, right there, that project right there. You
Yeah.
got something else going on.
No, that's
This is
I'm
it right
focused. I'm focused on, you know, making sure that does what it's supposed to do.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
So,
Well, you got a lot
Yeah.
of stuff going on.
And then
period,
once
man.
the fall and winter comes back around, you start promoting the coats, the jackets,
Yeah, exactly.
and
Right,
they,
right.
We're
they
in
fall back
production.
into play. Right,
Right,
So
exactly.
you're in production right now.
yeah, we're making winning coats right now in the middle of summer.
And then that way, towards
Yeah.
the end of the summer, you can actually drop them for fall,
We'll be
winter.
ready.
Nice.
All right, Will, so it was great having you on the show. Welcome.
All right. Great.
Yeah,
Great to
definitely,
be here.
Thanks a lot for coming
definitely.
through.
A man that wears
Yo,
many
it-
hats,
Yes.
guys.
Will
important.
Roberson in the building. Support, definitely.
Yeah. A man that wears many, many hats. We
It's definitely
thank you
important
so much
for
for
us to
being
have,
here.
you know, established people like this. You,
Yes,
Red
be
Alert.
here.
you know, come through and y'all, you know, acknowledging our audience. You know,
Show that love.
Talking about your experiences, your successes, your downfalls, the things that keep you motivated. It's always important for our audience to be able to see people that was kicked out at 14 to be here now. You know what I mean? And to have made it this far, and you're still climbing, and that's a beautiful thing. You know
But it
what
was
I mean?
important what Lou had said earlier. I think it went over a lot of people when she said at 14 you did the right thing. Most people, I ain't gonna lie, you kicked out 14, it's really not gonna be the right thing.
Yeah.
You're really gonna go the other way.
Yeah.
So that was really important.
A majority
I
choose
credit-
to go into
I-
criminal activities,
Well, I credit,
if you
like
know
I
what
said,
I mean.
I credit my family for setting me on the right track.
Right.
You know, and giving me the, you know, the guidance that I needed for me to be strong enough to
Yeah.
succeed. You know.
Yeah,
So-
not only strong enough, but smart enough
Yeah,
to make
smart
better
enough.
choices.
Proud of you, brothers.
True.
Yeah.
Wish you more
Greatness.
success, man.
Greatness.
Always, man.
We still going.
That's
Absolutely.
right. That's
Wish
right.
you more
From the beginning.
success.
We're here for
So
it.
give me
We're
your
here for
social
it.
media links again.
All right. Instagram is Will, WILL underscore ROBERSON underscore designs on Instagram.
Okay.
On Facebook, I'm Will Roberson.
Okay, so thanks for tuning in to the B139.
And
We
we-
had my man
Yes.
Cool DJ Red Alert
We thank
and Will
him.
Roberson in the building.
a
We had a
good
great
day.
interview. Y'all need to go back and check it out.
Yeah.
Facebook Live, the Beat 139. See y'all guys next week. We will update y'all on the guests we're gonna have on Wednesday. Just follow the page and we stay tuned to you guys.
Yes, yes.
You know-
Have a great night, guys. It was wonderful having you guys.